Good evening, everybody. We're going to start the final phase of our program. I know that the desserts are still making their way to your tables, and you're still enjoying your final bites. But given the late hour, we thought we would get started. So if I can have your attention for a moment, I'd like to introduce Erica Swanson. As I think everyone in this room knows, Bob Swanson was a proud alumnus of MIT, a holder of 2 degrees from this institution, a beloved brother in the Sigma Chi fraternity, and I think there are some Sigma Chi folks out there somewhere. He was also a devoted husband and father. Bob is also the individual identified above all others in launching the biotechnology industry through his founding with Herb Boyer of Genentech in 1976. He was 28 years old at the time. Bob is without doubt one of MIT's most distinguished and influential graduates. Sadly, in 1999, at the age of 52, Bob succumbed to brain cancer. Ever since that time, MIT has been looking for a way to honor his accomplishments and his legacy. As we began designing the Koch Institute with encouragement from Fred Middleton, I approached Judy Swanson, Bob's widow, about the idea of naming a space in Bob's memory. Thus was born the idea of generating the Swanson Biotechnology Center, which, as I mentioned earlier, is a highly enabling and critical part of our infrastructure and of our success. I'm very grateful to Judy and to her daughter Erica, as well as to Fred and Carol Middleton, and all of the SBC donors for making this concept such a fitting reality. It's my pleasure to now introduce Erica Swanson, Bob's daughter. Although Erica did not follow in her father's footsteps and come to MIT, she made the decision to go to Stanford. I know. She did work this past summer in my laboratory in the old building. And I think this experience was enough to convince Erica that she actually didn't want to do bench science after all. But she really did a fantastic job. We got to know her extremely well and know that she's a wonderful individual, bright and talented. And it's a great privilege for me to work with her now and on into the future in connection with the Swanson Biotechnology Center. Erica.
Thank you, Tyler. And I would just like to say that Stanford is a lot warmer than MIT right now. People are asking me to take the heat off of them, and I'm standing in front of it shivering. So, first I'd like to say how truly happy I am to get to be here tonight. The Koch Institute holds such promise for the future of cancer research, and even more importantly, provides the essential foundation for new and innovative cancer treatments. My mom and I are so pleased to be able to support the Swanson Biotechnology Center in honor of my dad, Bob Swanson. The center embodies so many of the same values and ideals that my dad strived to create at Genentech and in all facets of his life. From the time I was born, I can remember my dad sitting down and telling my sister and I all these stories about the good old days of MIT. Walking across the Mass Ave Bridge in negative 20-degree weather with just a light coat to keep him warm, pulling all-nighters with his fraternity brothers to study for tests, and the moment he realized all the material he had learned in an entire summer of studying math was covered in just the first lecture of Calculus 1801 at MIT. As a little girl, none of this seemed extremely appealing to me, but my dad truly lit up when he talked about MIT. I know it would mean so much to him to give back to the university that taught him so much. Bob Swanson was not just the co-founder of Genentech, he was also a dad. He came home for dinner every night at 6:30, not without some nagging from my mom, but nonetheless, he was home, and he was home because that's truly where he wanted to be. He coached all of my sisters and my soccer teams, and he did it with unmatched spirit. Not to mention a victory lap each time a goal was scored. Every girl wanted to be on Coach Swanson's team. He was successful because he cared. He always wanted to bring the best out of people. Like all of you, when I hear the word cancer, I get scared. It changes lives instantly. I was 10 years old when my dad was diagnosed with brain cancer, glioblastoma multiforme. The doctors told him there was no cure and few treatments. Even now, it's hard for me to really grasp that feeling of complete helplessness that he must have felt. My dad, who had always been so optimistic, was defeated. His belief that there was always a way vanished, and we lost the dad we knew and loved long before cancer took his life. Without hope, so much of what we live for is taken away. I'm sure there isn't a person out here tonight who hasn't lost someone they love to cancer. For me, it meant growing up without a dad. Who was going to give me all those free piggyback rides up the stairs anymore, or teach me how to fix my first flat tire on a car? Who was going to interrogate all the boys who tried to take me out on dates, or walk me down the aisle at my wedding? Cancer leaves a passionate void in our hearts, but it is that emptiness that pushes us to support progress and change, to do something so fewer people are diagnosed without hope and fewer families are left broken. The Koch Integrative Cancer Research Center cultivates an environment where scientists and engineers literally can't go one day without bumping into each other. Within that, the Swanson Biotech Center will provide state-of-the-art equipment and specialized technological support not only for researchers at the Koch, but throughout all of MIT and beyond. This unique business model provides the distinguished expertise that enables teams to make breakthroughs to fight cancer. The idea of bringing scientists together is a great one, but it's sometimes easier said than done. We know that lab research attracts brilliant people, and with that brilliance comes a work ethic to succeed that sometimes makes it near impossible to get out of the lab. My dad's solution at Genentech, Friday night ho-hos. And yes, they were mandatory. On Friday nights at 5 p.m., everyone shared a beer, a story, a laugh. Some people dressed in costume, ballerinas, hula dancers, Tweedledee and Tweedledum even made an appearance one time. He wanted people who worked side by side or down the hall to actually connect with one another. He knew that the best science often happens by accident, and a few beers never hurt to get the craziest ideas going. This past summer, as Tyler said, I had the privilege of working in Tyler's lab. I learned firsthand that the science being done at MIT far exceeds even its exemplary reputation. With a convergence of exceptional researchers and state-of-the-art technological innovation, the Swanson Biotech Center truly has the power to harness and leverage its full potential. Tyler Jacks is a world-renowned cancer research pioneer. And while my dad spent most of his time behind the desk creating Genentech, he and Tyler share a common philosophy: never be afraid to try something different. Leadership takes many forms, and the one most often chosen by Tyler and my dad, to usually the great delight of those around them, was, if in doubt, dress like a woman. So hopefully they'll be on the screens. I think, Tyler, you look pretty cute in that outfit. And with that, I am so happy to get to announce that from this night forward, what is now known as the Friday Focus will forever become the Friday Ho-Ho, in honor of my dad, Bob Swanson. And to commemorate this, we had, you know those little drink cozies that go around a cold beverage, any type of one? We've had them made, and they're going to be distributed at the first Ho-Ho called the SBC Ho-Ho. So hopefully all those researchers will keep their drinks cold from now on. So to finish up, I loved my dad so much, and I'm so proud of all that he was able to accomplish in his life. Most importantly, for being a loving and caring human being. For the people who knew and loved Bob Swanson, the Swanson Biotechnology Center will honor his memory and his commitment to doing great science. Thank you so much, Mr. Koch, for making the Koch Institute a reality. And finally, I want to thank every one of you for your generosity, your humanity, and your commitment to this cure to fight cancer. Together, we really will change the world for the better. Thank you.